What do you like about it?
Well, I like that it's something new and fun. It's not bull. There's no rock stars. No.
Apple launched its Apple Vision Pro, its first spatial computer, at the beginning of February. And the reviews are in.
But I do think that this kind of technology is undeniably huge.
I actually love this thing.
I was like, holy shit, this is it. This is the future of computing.
Anyone who is anyone is extolling the virtues of this device as the next leap forward in human-computer interaction. Every couple of decades we make a huge leap forward in how humans interact with computers. We started, about 100 years ago using flashing lights and switches and dials to control computers. We then moved on to programming them via punch cards. We then worked out a way of typing commands into a command line interface and telling computers what to do through a keyboard. Then Xerox invented the mouse and point and click interfaces were born, which was a huge revolution and a huge leap forward. Then more recently we invented touch and were able to touch and interact with computers through touchscreens. And then this spatial computing is the next leap forward. But there is something really serious we need to consider about this leap forward. What we need to consider with this new leap forward in technical innovation is the amount of real world that exists between us and the computer. When computers were hardwired into the corner of a room, you needed to make a conscious decision to go and interact with that device. You had to walk through the real world to get to it and sit down, log in and interact with the computer. And then with every single one of these advancements that we've made, the amount of real world between us and the device have started to move slowly closer and closer to us. When we started to use touch devices and mobile phones as a way of interacting with computers, we started to experience some of the real world through that device. And you can imagine this in terms of how you interact with social media, or you view images, or even very physically if you imagine somebody recording a gig through their mobile phone. We experience part of our life through this device. And the problem with this comes in is this device is not a true representation of the real world. It is a filter. And it's a filter created by multiple types of people. It's a filter created by the people who build the devices and the people who build the software on the devices, and a filter created by you. You are selective in the way that you experience the world through this device. There's an amazing stat recently that in the UK, 10% of left-wing people only get their news from partisan sources. And it's these kind of filters that you create where you're only seeing the experience of your worldview through the device. Additionally, on top of that, there are people controlling what you see on this device, people who build the algorithms or conduct and curate the content that you're experiencing. You don't have any longer a complete control of what you view through this device. So part of your experience of the real world is filtered. And what this means is it stops you from experiencing things outside of your bubble, outside of the things you want to see. People challenging your viewpoints, people giving you other ideas, sharing thoughts and experiences with you. Anything that comes in that way is coming through your filter. And this is okay when we have it on a mobile device. There is still a real world that sits around this device where you can have these ideas come into you. Maybe you see an inconvenient truth when you're walking around in the street, or somebody you bump into talks to you about something that you wouldn't want to think about. It's these things that we don't want to see and what we think about are things that expand our worldview and allows us to really discuss and consider how the world should work and move forward. Now with the Apple Vision Pro, we are further removing the amount of space between the real world and the device. In fact, we are moving the device before the real world. So everything you experience in that when you are using that device is filtered. It's filtered through the filters you create, and it's filtered through the filters of the tech people who make the technology that you're experiencing through. So the question is, do we really want to be in this existence where we are no longer able to see these ideas or these inconvenient truths that sit around this vision and challenge our worldview? I really think that we need to think about this new spatial computing where all of the real world sits behind this filter and really think if this is a future that we want.
I was just responding to text messages.
If you or anyone you know has been affected by the topics in this video, then there is an answer. Punk Leadership provides a solution for those who want to help push the tech industry in a different direction. Taking inspiration from the punk cultural revolution, Punk Leadership provides a model that will allow you to understand what you truly believe should be the future of tech, and provides you with a simple model to start to implement change. The Punk Leadership book is now available from punkleadership.com and Amazon. Start your revolution now.